Hey there everybody, as you can see by the title of the video, who's your favorite video game character? Luigi! First answer Luigi, only acceptable answer. So, if you guys don't know, I'm currently doing a 30-day video game sort of discussion challenge type thing. So, let's go ahead, and today is day 2, I already did day 1. So day 2 is what's your favorite video game character? So, let's talk about that. I want to know what you guys think is your favorite. I couldn't really pick one, so I picked 3 from my childhood. It's kind of tough to pick now, if only because I've played so many games. So when I was a kid, I picked 3, and here's the first one that I'm going to talk about, which is Illidan Stormrage. Alright, so this fucking guy, let me pull up some pictures of this boy, because he's top tier. So Illidan Stormrage is from Warcraft 3. The Warcraft lore, I suppose. He's this guy. He's a night elf. He's a demon hunter. He's the first demon hunter, essentially. And he's pretty cool. He's got a very neat backstory that I think is interesting, and he's got an honestly heart-wrenching story that makes you feel bad for him the entire way, despite the fact that he's made out to be somewhat of a villain. He looks dark and edgy, but he's really not that horrible. Essentially, he has a twin brother named Malfurion, and him and Malfurion were both born to be druids. Now, Illidan was born with special eyes, what's called amber eyes. And the amber eyes basically dictate in his culture that he's destined to be important. So him and his brother study under this sort of demigod to be a druid, right? They both want to be druids. Illidan, not a good druid. Like, he's fucking it up. He's, like, way too evil, I guess. And the deity essentially says, I'm not teaching you because you're a fucking dick. Like, you need to learn humility. You're gonna study under your brother because your brother is fucking great. And he's like, I'm not studying under my brother. He's a fucking piece of shit. And the entire time, right, that they're studying and, like, things are happening, the Warcraft universe is essentially besieged by demons, like, all the time, right? So, so Illidan's like, we're not gonna be able to fight demons if you're being a dingus, right? So he goes off, and he fights demons by using their own magic. That's kind of his thing. It's hard to describe him because his story is kind of fucked up, alright? It's kind of hard because his story is fucked up. Essentially, he blinds his own eyes by ripping them out so that he can see demonic energy without seeing anything else, alright? And he's just edgy and fucking cool, and he was great. Let's see if we can pull up footage of him. Illidan Stormrage to Warcraft 3. He has this fucking cutscene, which is awesome, by the way. Turn off the background music. I fucking love this cutscene. It gives me shivers. It's good.
Betrayer.
In truth, it was I who was betrayed. Like, I know the whole goddamn thing. Look at this shirtless boy. You could just give him a smooch. Look at him.
Still I am hunted.
Still I am hated. Oh, he's so edgy, I love it.
Now my blind eyes see what others cannot.
He's just so quotable. He's just so fucking quotable, it's great.
That sometimes
The hands of fate must be forced. Edgy lightning. He's daddy material. He is daddy material. He's a fantastic daddy material. Fucking edgelord. He is an edgelord, though. Gotta be honest, complete edgelord. Is he a hero? He's an anti-hero. He's an anti-hero. He uses unorthodox methods to save the world. That's really why he's considered. A lot of Warcraft stuff is kind of black and white, which is a problem with a lot of the storytelling in it. See, here, this is technically bad. What that eye was, he releases these sort of... These are Naga. They're kind of underwater, like, lizard people, who he gets to fight for him. Which, kinda not a good thing, because they also want to kill all the elves. The Naga don't like elves. Which is kind of a problem. He's an anti-hero. So, Illidan's main thing is that he wants to stop the Legion. The Burning Legion are demons. He wants to stop them. And he knows that they are limitless. They have conquered massive planets. The Legion is essentially an army of demons that cannot be stopped because there is an unlimited amount of them. And he wants to stop them. And there's tons of ways that he can do this. Really, he tries to do one thing, which is to get rid of one of their seats of command would be... To get rid of one of their seats of command, he has to blow up a continent. It's a continent that's basically taken over by the undead. Go forth. Unleash the tides of doom. Right, so basically he has to, like, destroy a continent to really, you know, make his plan work. His things are unorthodox. He has to use dark energy to do things. He has to blind himself. He has to blow up continents. He's bad, but he's good. He has good intentions. He wants to stop the Legion, and he'll do anything to do it. So, you know. My favorite quote is actually from Spy Kids 2. Does God stay up in heaven because he's too afraid of what he has created? Isn't that... Fuck, who says that in that movie? I actually do know that. Spy Kids hitting the hard questions. Spy Kids 3 is bad, but at least it has Frodo in it. So, when I was a kid, I was always attracted to this character in a kind of, like, connection kind of way. He was dark and edgy, which I liked. I was a dark and edgy lad. I liked that. His color scheme is fantastic. He's got a lot of greens. He's got tattoos all over him. When I was a kid, I wanted a tattoo, like the tattoos he has on myself. Thank God I never did that. Christ almighty. There's actually an Olympic swimmer who has Illidan's tattoos. These, like, green spirals and stuff. There's a Olympic swimmer who has that on him. And I think that's hilarious. Imagine if I had this on me. Oh, man. Oh, boy. So, when I was a kid, he was always my favorite to play as. He was always funny, too. When you clicked on him, he would, you know, say different things. Say I'm blind, not deaf. Oh, God, is that pony fan art? Oh, boy. That's really edgy. Oh, boy, that's Equestria over there. Jesus. Crazy shit. So tell me right now, chat. What is... I've been talking about Illidan, but I want to know what is your favorite character? I know people have said Luigi. Luigi's cold-hearted snake who cares about nobody, but if you can sympathize with him, he has emotional moments. Who do you guys like? Tell me who you guys like. May? Why do you like May so much? Tell me. There's got to be a reason for why you enjoy this character. I want to know why you guys like this character, and I want to know, you know, who they are, of course. Illidan Stormrage. Metal Sonic. Really now? That's your favorite? That's an unorthodox thing. Lazy peon. Me not that kind of work. Kirby. Kirby's a good character to like. Gravemind is super rad. I don't know much about Gravemind. Marcello from Dragon Quest. He's such a douche and I love it. I do like douchebaggy characters. Ooh. I played her for 45 hours. She's my life now. Oh my god. Kirby is wholesome and adorable, but also sickeningly disgusting if you think about it. A lot of people say Kirby, though. Ike is a good character. Fights for his friends. Phoenix Wright. You know, I've not played enough of the Phoenix Wright games. I really should. Glenroy? He's a giant zombie worm thing who is super smart and shit. That's Gravemind? I feel like I know who that is, but at the same time the name escapes me. It's weird. Man, a lot of Kirby from you guys. I think Kirby is a character that it's kind of impossible to hate him, you know? He's just so nice and his games are so easy and... Oh, I should put music back on. Since that edgy cutscene's done. But he's just so nice and like... There's no reason to really dislike him, you know? Like, why would you dislike Kirby of all things? Who knows? He's the bad dude from Halo. Oh, that's why I know. I never really thought of it. like what the name of the villain was in Halo. Waluigi. Waluigi's a good character. Waluigi's a good character to like. He's not even a character. He has no like character traits other than wah. Yeah, I mean, if you like him because he's a meme, then just admit it. Because I totally agree. I love his design though. I honestly think Waluigi's design is interesting. Donkey Kong from the cartoon. Oh man, he is unhateable. Kirby is completely unhateable. Character called Starfy. Starfy. Is that the Star character from the handheld game? Martin Septum. Did you notice I'm playing Oblivion music in the background? Oh man. Let me know if the music is too loud. I can turn it down. If it's too quiet, I can turn it up a little bit. So we have some background music running. No, not you. We'll get to you next. Alright, so when I was a kid, I think I can sort of define my childhood with probably, not really my childhood, but a big section of my middle school years and high school and just kind of childhood was playing Oblivion. I played Oblivion all the time. Vanilla Oblivion on the Xbox 360. I played Oblivion so much. And I didn't give two diddly shits about the Emperor or the Daedra or what's going on, except for one Daedra. And that was Sheogorath. This character right here. Now, Sheogorath is the god of madness. And Oblivion, I bought Oblivion, and it came with the expansion pack on the disc. It had an expansion called the Shivering Isles, which I think to this day is the best expansion for a video game ever made. Holy shit. It's so good. You enter this world, and if you look at his throne here, and you look at his outfit, see how it's kind of divided into two? He's got, like, this over here and the red over here. He controls a realm known as the Shivering Isles. Now, the Shivering Isles is divided right in two. It's divided in two between Dementia and Mania. Those are the two realms of madness that you can sort of roam around in the Shivering Isles. And your character goes there, and you sit down and you meet this, like, really prissy guy, and he's like, hey, bud, come meet my, you've been summoned by Sheogorath, come in, like, shit's getting fucked up, you want to help us? And you help Sheogorath, and it's great. And spoiler, I'm gonna spoil the story for you of the Shivering Isles. So the Shivering Isles is essentially Sheogorath. His world is being destroyed. Every couple of, I don't know how long the time is, but his world of the Shivering Isles gets destroyed. What's going on, Tony? We're talking about our favorite video game characters. Sir Hammerlock and Zero from Borderlands. Ooh, those are good picks. So, the Shivering Isles essentially gets destroyed every couple of millennia, I guess, by a guy named Jyggalag. Jyggalag is the god of order, and Sheogorath is the god of, madness. And you have to stop the god of order from fucking up this mad, fucked up world. And throughout the story, you realize that Sheogorath and Jyggalag are the same person. Jyggalag was a Daedra. Daedra are kind of like demonic gods, I guess you could say, to simplify it, in the Elder Scrolls games. You're my favorite video game character, Daddy. Well, I am in a video game. I did make a video game that has me in it. And it's cool. You realize that Jyggalag and Sheogorath are the same person. Jyggalag was too powerful of a god that the other gods banded together and basically locked his mind away in this insane guy named Sheogorath. And throughout the story, you realize that the world is destroyed and rebuilt. Jyggalag comes through. He's allowed to come back for like one day. He fucks up the entire Madness realm, and then Sheogorath is reborn and then rebuilds it, and this happens forever. And your character comes in during this expansion and just fucks up the entire order. That's how it works. It's great. You basically become the god of madness. And if you guys have ever played Skyrim, if you didn't know, Skyrim came after Oblivion. It's the game in the Elder Scrolls that comes after Oblivion. And in Skyrim, the Sheogorath in that game is the main character from the last Elder Scrolls game. It's your character, essentially, which I think that's why I really like this character. You become him, essentially. I think that's super interesting in a game. That's what a main character does, fuck up everything. It's really weird. Like, the game also, if you become him, right, when you're done, certain quests, if you don't do them at certain times, if you do a quest at a certain time, Sheogorath will talk to you. But if you become Sheogorath and go back and do that quest, like you didn't do it, the game will recognize that you're Sheogorath, and you're like, you're second in command of the Shivering Isles. Will talk to your character and be like, aren't you supposed to be running the realm? Like, why are you doing quests? And it's weird. And I always think that's really, really interesting. That's why he's my favorite. The ability to become him, I think, is an interesting thing. To become such a focal character in a game is something I don't see very often in video games, and that's why I find him to be so interesting. Tony, can you stream the CGS RPG? I really want to see what it's like, but my computer is complete ass. Yeah, I can probably stream that. I can probably do it. Dane is my favorite video game character, and Tony is my favorite party member. Was I good? Was I a useful party member? I'll have to stream... For those of you who don't know, I did an RPG based on my show. So, I may have to stream it one of these days. Maybe later today after the Christian stream. I'll see how people... I'll gauge people's opinions and if people want me to do it. Who's your favorite Overwatch character? It's Roadhog. Roadhog is my favorite Overwatch character. Oh man, I wish I had more to say about Sheogorath. It's really quite simple as to why he's good. Let me show a clip of him, actually. Let me show a clip of him. Oh, I'll describe a quest that made me fall in love with him. So because he's the god of madness, he can sort of manipulate things and make it weird. He tells you to go to a community of Khajiit. If you don't know what Khajiit are, let me pull them up. Khajiit are basically furries in the Elder Scrolls. They're cat people, right? So you go to a community of these cat people, and the god of madness tells you to do like a little ritual, and you do it, and then it starts to rain flaming dog corpses from the sky. Literally dog corpses rain from the sky on top of this commune. It's fantastic. And it's funny because there's so many dogs raining from the sky that your game starts to lag if you're playing on like the 360. Your game will lag because it can't register all of these flaming dogs coming down. It's fantastic. All the citizens just start freaking out and they just like run inside, and like half the cat people just like kill themselves because they don't know what's going on. Other people are running away screaming with their kids. It's hilarious. It's great. And the god is just laughing the whole time. Sheogorath is just fucking laughing. It's great. That quest is enough for me to just, like, love him more than the others. And that's keeping in mind that there's another god who tells you to go to a dinner party full of fancy noblewomen and then make all of them naked. I like Sheogorath more than that guy, and that guy is hilarious too. Let me see if I can find some quotes. Cheese quote. Let's get a quote of him. Yeah, there we go. Quotes of Lord Sheogorath. He's very quotable. I love characters who are quotable. He's great.
Well, look who's here. You.
His voice acting, top tier.
Well now, what news do you have to report? So soon? Not a surprise, I suppose. We'll get to that later. No need to burden your little brain with it now. And Xedilian, since you're standing here, I assume you've succeeded. Or you're terribly confused, or really lacking in good judgment.
KOTOR is a fantastic game. Knights of the Old Republic.
Time for a celebration!
Cheese for everyone!
Wait! Scratch that! Cheese for no one. That could be just as much of a celebration if you don't like cheese, true?
That's it. He's obsessed with cheese, by the way. If you didn't know. It's fantastic. Also, if your character attacks him, he'll freeze your NPC and say you shouldn't have done that, and then teleports you like 1,000 feet in the air, and your character just You have to watch as your character falls through the clouds and then just plop, hits the ground and dies. And when you fall, you realize that there's skeletons there, which means other people have attempted to do this. Which is fantastic. It's great. Sheogorath is just fantastic. I love it. He's very quotable. I love quotable characters, as I said. So let's go on to the last character. I'm going to talk about my last favorite character, and it's not much to talk about him. Like, there's not much to say, but I really do love him. So, one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time, is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. You're my favorite video game character, Tony. I appreciate it. So, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is probably my favorite video game of all time. Which I always make sure, no other game do I really do this, but I play that game all the way through once a year, minimum. Sometimes more. Every year I'll do that. And there's many NPCs, like party members that you can get in the game, but this one I think was the most fun for me as a kid. And I still love them to this day. You can upgrade your party members in the game, and I always upgrade this character first. This is Yoshi. Basically what happens is you go to... Let me play the music for that level. It's actually fucking fantastic. Let me play the music, like, fitting music for this discussion. So you go to this level, right? It's called the Glitz Pit, the third level of the game. The Glitz Pit is this ginormous arena. It's this ginormous floating arena in the air. And you have to get on a hot air balloon, and you go there. And you have to find like a crystal star that's hidden in this arena. And basically, to get it, you have to join it and like beat everybody in the arena, and it's really fun to do. And after a couple matches, your character Mario reaches a pit. Like a wall. Not a pit, a wall. He can't get past these two opponents. They have spikes and armor, and you can't beat them. And you basically lose your match. So you walk out, and you go to a hot dog stand, and there's an egg. Right? And this egg follows your character around. And you try to fight those guys, and you lose. And when you come back from that fight, this Yoshi has hatched out of that egg, and becomes your party member. And he's super fucking good. This character... This Yoshi, you get to name him too, which I really love. I love the idea of naming the Yoshi. You name your Yoshi, and he basically one-shots those guys that you couldn't fight. Because he basically eats one of them and shoots it into the other, and that just like kills them instantly. Which is fantastic. I love it. And the interesting thing about this character is that depending on how long you wait, the egg will actually hatch with a different Yoshi in it. As you can see, all of these colors are Yoshi characters that you can get. And I always went for the black one because I love the red hair and the black. It's fucking great. Mickey Mouse trying to be serious in Kingdom Hearts is adorable. Mickey Mouse is a great character in Kingdom Hearts. So the egg would actually hatch depending on how much time you waited in-game. If you waited 0 to 6 minutes, it would turn green. This is when the second you pick up the egg at the hot dog stand and then go and fight those guys. However much time has elapsed between that is what color your Yoshi will come out as when you lose the fight and come back. Like you leave the egg in your like changing room, you go do a fight and you come back, and however long it took you to like do that fight and how much time has elapsed, it'll be one of these colors. And I could never figure it out as a kid. I had to buy a strategy guide because I couldn't figure it out. Because there was no real like internet really. There was, but I didn't know how to use it properly. I remember I always ended up with the red one, because I guess I wasn't patient enough to wait the 18 minutes. So, it was great. I loved it. It was super great. This character's fantastic. His combo's fucking good. Paper Mario Yoshi. Let's see here. Let me see if I can just pull up gameplay. Out of all the party members in the game, he honestly doesn't have the most character? Really? I guess I can't get it. Kind of weird to search for him. He honestly doesn't have as much personality as the other characters in the game that you get as party members, but he's good. He's really good. He also doesn't call you Mario. It's been so long since I've been in one of these streams. I'm so happy. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're having a good time. When Mario joins the arena, he doesn't join as Mario because the arena, like, the guy who runs the arena says your name isn't memorable enough, so he renames Mario the Great Gonzalez. Until the end of the game, this Yoshi does not call you Mario. He refers to you as the Great Gonzalez the entire game. It's fantastic. And at the very end of the game, he acknowledges that your name is Mario, and he's like, yeah, you're Mario, but to me you'll always be the Great Gonzalez. And it's really heartfelt, and it brings a tear to my eye at the end of the game. It really does. All your characters kind of come together and they just like tell Mario stuff at the end of the game. They're like, oh, we'll miss you. It's great. It's genuinely great. I think this character has always stuck with me. It's one of the reasons I go back to the game, The Thousand Year Door, which is one of my favorite games, if not my favorite. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite video game characters. Jill Sandwich. Ooh, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts first. Before I go, I gotta talk about Kingdom Hearts, if we're talking about it. Personally, the best thing about Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts is that he's a gigantic threat, but you never actually properly fought him before, or at least with Sora. That's entirely true. There's also like a zillion versions of Xehanort, which is weird. I need to play Kingdom Hearts 3. You guys hyped for Kingdom Hearts 3? Of course you are. Who isn't hyped for Kingdom Hearts 3? It's hard to not like Kingdom Hearts. Disney is just one of those things that's just synonymous with just like enjoying it. Like how do you not enjoy, you know, Disney? So of course you're gonna enjoy Kingdom Hearts. It's Disney and fighting and shit. Like it's great, you know? Even if you don't like it. I don't know, it's tough. Not me. I don't know, man. It's weird. I've never met anybody who's been like, oh, I fucking hate those games. I mean, I've met people who are like, you know, I don't love them, but you know, I don't know anybody who's despised them, I guess. Anyway, I think this has been really interesting. I want you guys to consider consider this. The first character that you guys said is your favorite was Luigi, so whoever was the first person to leave Luigi as their answer, top tier. You win the prize. You're the first person in the stream. You get to dictate what everybody's favorite has to be. It's Luigi, now until forever. I hope you guys had a good time with this discussion. And yeah, I'll see you on the next stream.